Okay, so due to my entire family either having COVID, being on the way to the hospital, or visiting my sister in the hospital because she just got a brain tumor surgery, I have nothing else but FaceTime. So they're all here. All four of them are here. And so I will be doing my speech to them through there because that is the only way I have right now. So, hello, family and teacher. Today I'm going to be talking about July of 1997, but before I tell you why, which you guys already know why we're talking about this, because it's the greatest month of the year, birthdays actually can be tracked back to the origin days of the book of Genesis back in Egypt. So I thought that was a very cool and fun fact to share with you guys as we're talking about this. So July of 1997, just to give you a little background information of what was going on, or to remind you of what was going on, Mom and Dad. Bill Clinton was the president, with Al Gore being his VP. A movie that you could have saw or maybe have seen in the movie theaters was Men in Black. It was actually released July 2nd, and it starred Will Smith. I personally owned the Rugrats movie, a Rugrats Vacation. It actually came out on VHS tape. It was orange. It was one of my favorite movies for a really long time, so that's personal and very nostalgic for me. If you're listening to the radio, the Billboard's #1 Top 100 Hits track for 6 consecutive weeks was I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. Love, featuring Faith Evans. To move on to a little price comparisons for them, just to kind of give you more of an insight if you were into buying a house, buying a car, kind of just going grocery shopping, your day-to-day price comparisons. We'll start with gas. You could have bought a gallon of gas for $1.22. A new home you could have bought for an average of $124,000. A brand new car you could buy for around $16,000 to $17,000, which, to put into comparison, I bought my new car last year, and that cost me about $21,000. And the average wage of an American household, a family was making around $37,000 a year. And also, if you're going to the movies, $4.59 for a movie ticket, which is actually, I think, doubled now, because even we went to the movie theaters and it was matinee time. The movie ticket was $10. So just a little price comparison for that for you guys. OnThisDay.com tells us a really cool news story that I was very interested in, and I actually invested a lot more time than I thought digging in deeper into this and kind of getting more information, background information from different views of this particular story because it really intrigued me. So on this, July 15th specifically at 9 a.m., famous fashion designer Gianni Versace was gunned down and assassinated by 2 bullets in the head on his entry steps of his Miami Beach home. He was actually the final victim of a string of cross-country killings, and these were all being done by Andrew Cunanan. He was actually a male prostitute who served affluent clients. Just to touch a little bit more on that, I watched the Netflix documentary that they actually have available. It's a whole series of quite a bit of episodes, actually, and it really goes into depth of, each episode gives you a very good amount of information of kind of the background of how Andrew Cunanan came to be, why these turn of events might have happened, what they believe happened, kind of like what Gianni Versace was doing in his own life when this was going on. So it gives you like a really cool kind of well-rounded perspective of what was happening in Miami, what was happening in other places until they finally all came together, and then a little bit afterwards as well. Police say the relationships were unknown, but because he was a male prostitute and he was found kind of with more intimate relationships with other people that were in these strings of killings, it was found to be that he had a more personal relationship with him, that maybe they were sleeping together, or he was prostituting himself to these men to try to gain, I don't know if it was respect or publicity or whatever it was, maybe recognition for maybe the homosexuals in that time, because that was not really a thing. It was 1997, so Andrew felt a personal relationship with that. He wanted to kind of unveil some things. So it could have been a random act, but like I said, the Netflix documentary kind of shows it in the perspective where they had a little bit more of a relationship than it just being random. Andrew was actually found dead 9 days later due to self-inflicted gunshot wounds on his houseboat just blocks away from their Versace house. So after that, after he murdered Gianni Versace, it just didn't seem like he had anyone else that was on the list of people, and so he kind of finished what his purpose was, what he had going on, what his plan was, and he kind of laid low for a little bit. Maybe it got to him that he murdered a lot of people, was hearing his name a lot, and he ended up ending his life. So actually today you can tour, eat, and actually stay at this luxury hotel. It's actually really cool. The architecture, the prestigiousness of it, I mean, everything in it is like breathtaking. When I went to Miami Beach, as you guys know, I went there and it was beautiful and amazing. I mean, the food was mediocre, but if you were looking around, there were so many famous, amazing people that stayed there, visited him, partied there. So it was really up to par with the the type of people that actually went to visit it. It kind of correlated with what it looks like. It's beautiful. So if you wanted to stay there at this luxury hotel, prices per night actually start at $700 a night. So it is not cheap. Another news story that you could have found, something that was also happening in July, was the Nokia 6110 came out. The cost was $900, or with a 2-year with a service cell contract, you could spend, or it would cost you $200 for the cell phone. This lower price point made this phone one of the best selling in the 90s. Its focus was business travelers because it offered the capabilities for overseas networks, also currency conversion, a calculator, a clock, and a calendar. So those are kind of stuff that we look over. Today's cell phones, we are kind of, those aren't really like cool perks to us. Those are kind of just things we expect now. And I think I paid $1,100 for my brand new phone. So kind of to put into perspective of how the prices went up and how much more our phones now offer. So those are a little cool tidbits of July 1997. Thank you.